Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner to my right, wearing the black trunks and the gold trim. He weighed in at 160.8 pounds, fighting in his 13th professional fight from Montreal, Canada. Here is the Professor, Kenny Chery. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner to my left, wearing the black trunks with the gold trim. He weighed in at 159.6 pounds. He has an outstanding professional record, 4 wins, only 1 defeat. From Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, the bad boy, Brett Beaton.
Well, folks, the stage is set as we take a look at the tail of the tape here on screen. Kenny Chery's 35, fighting out of Montreal, Quebec. He's obviously got as many wins as Brett Beaton has, but he's got 7 losses. But within those losses, they say in boxing, don't you? You don't lose, you learn. Well, Kenny's had quite a few lessons there.
And at various weight classes, because, you know, he won't shy away from a fight. If you call him, there's a good chance he's going to show up on weight and ready to go.
I think Kenny Chery may want to start fast here.
You called it. The jabs are out.
I think the challenge for... Oh, big shot by Brett Beaton. Oh, my word. Wow. I was just going to say the challenge for Brett Beaton may be to just stay calm amongst that early pressure. He landed a heavy right hand, buckled the knees of Kenny Chery. I believe it was stablemate Antonio Napolitano who starts Kenny Chery early on in their contest a year or 2 ago. As you say, he's been around the block. He's mixing it with top professionals week in, week out.
Well, like I said in the opener, you know, he's a definite test for Brett Beaton. It's the right caliber of opponent for where we're at right now. Give us a good indication where we can go in the future. He's working behind the jab well here.
Brett Beaton's boxing very well, very relaxed. I think that shot that he landed has had that relaxing effect on him. I said to Brett before the fight, we spoke to each other when I entered the building, and I didn't realize how big he was. He's a big kid for 160, but I don't know what it is, whether it was just in my mindset. I had him as a younger, smaller guy, and when I stood next to him today, he had a good 2 inches on me.
He's definitely confident.
Good jabs by Brett Beaton here.
I think that early shot definitely gave him the gusto to give us the display he's giving us. We're 2 minutes into the first round here.
Kenny just being out jabbed. He's trying to establish his own stick. Brett Beaton just missing with a short right hand. He's a likeable guy, Kenny Chery, though, isn't he? I mean, both men are likeable guys, but Kenny, like you say, has been around the scene for a long time.
Well, I want to point out the nickname's not just a nickname. He is actually a collegiate level professor. So, you know, he's out there teaching young minds. Presently on strike. I support them. So luckily he had plenty of time to get in shape and put in the work in the gym.
Nice exchanges here. I almost got lost enjoying the action for a moment.
It's a good opening round.
It's a composed performance here as we enter the closing seconds of the first round.
Good check hook from Kenny there. Close the round. Brett Beaton dancing back to the corner.
Take a look at the highlights here, Manny.
There's Kenny sticking the jab. Brett Beaton answering with his own.
Very calm, composed performance so far from Brett. I think Kenny may have found out that Beaton is a little better than he anticipated he might be.
I think the little dance on the way to the corner means that Beaton's definitely confident. Kenny's not going to be too shook here. And Ian McKillop's been in every position you can imagine in this sport. So He's got a calm, cool, collected corner. I think Kenny's just going to have to regroup.
McKillop, of course, trained under Freddie Roach during his time as a professional fighter.
He got to lace up the gloves with quite a few interesting names.
Round 2 underway, folks, as Brett Beaton looked for that overhand right that fared him so well in the first round, but he's gone back to the jabs. Nice work up and downstairs by the bad boy. Little jab in response by Chery. I think Chery may have found a little comfort level of his own here too.
Ian McKillop might feel that he found some sort of key to give Kenny the opportunity to make some changes here.
I think Kenny Chery said his barber was on vacation before the fight. He couldn't get in to see him. Not sure what's going on upstairs with Mr. Chery. But he's exchanging shots of his own inside as he takes a big shot on the chin by Brett Beaton. He's going to the well with that right hand. He might want to switch up the attack, Beaton. He does so with the uppercuts. Don't see that too often. Twice in a row. Nice work. The double left hook upstairs and down. I'm really impressed with Brett Beaton. I envisaged a really tough test for Brett Beaton, and although we don't want to speak too soon, it is a test that he's passing so far.
When you think that Kenny Chery's faced the likes of Fantuzzi, you know, at 168 pounds. You know,
Nice
Brett,
work by Chery.
we're talking about the size and whatnot, but, you know.
Nice work by Brett Beaton, defending. I spoke to him earlier this week, Manny, in preparation for this fight, and he spoke about his life and how proud he is of himself to be on a card like this, to be fighting, signed to a promotion like Three Lions. He'd been stabbed and almost left for dead. The knife wound had missed his heart by an inch or two. He told me he was already born with a hole in his heart, so even to be doing some of the things he's been doing in normal, everyday life seemed miraculous to him. So to be a professional fighter, as he lands that right hook, right uppercut, I beg your pardon. Kenny Chery fighting back on instinct. We'll see if Brett Beaton can find the telling shots.
Beaton definitely confident in there.
So you think he's going to come over the top with that right hand any moment, Brett Beaton. 30 seconds left in this second round of a scheduled 8 tonight, folks. It does say 6 on your graphic. I apologize. But this is an 8-rounder between Beaton and Kenny Chery. Again, another round that Brett Beaton has been authoritative. Nice overhand chop and right hand by Brett Beaton. Chery looking to counter with the short left hook. I don't think the fight is out of Kenny Chery just yet, but I do feel like it's coming out of him.
Well, I'll say this. This is definitely not the type of round he was looking for. Ian McKillop's going to have some stern words for his pugilist.
Let's take a look at these replays here, Manny Montreal. Nice
Good
work by
work,
Chery.
good work to the body from Chery.
Big shot by the bad boy. Wowza. Do you think there's anything that Kenny Chery can do stylistically here or adapt in any way, or do you think there's just a bit of a golfing class at this point?
You know, look, he's got two options. He can either try and close the gap, hold them, make this a dirty inside fight, wrestle, and wait for his opportunity to try and tire out the younger fighter. Or he can get on his bicycle, which I don't think is an option for us at this time. Personally, I think he needs to grind it out. I'm not sure if Brett Beaton's going to give him the opportunity.
This could be a pivotal round here, folks. Round 3 underway at the Emirates Centre here in North Sydney between Brett the Bad Boy Beaton and Kenny the Professor Chery. Chery fighting back, but I fear it could be a last hurrah. Thank you to all of you at home who've purchased the Three Lions Promotions pay-per-view. Promises to be a big, big night. All our family and friends all you fight fans around the nation.
Pace starting to slow down a bit here. A minute into the round. Kenny's still looking for answers here.
It's a long way down the road for someone like Brett Beaton, Manny, but when you look at the top guys at 160, who's there and how far away is Brett Beaton?
There's a bit of a gap, to be honest. Right now at the tippy top, there's a couple names out there that are, I'd say, towards the end of their careers or winding up their careers.
Stephen Butler, Volney types at 160.
Exactly. So, you know, with Stephen and Volney holding up the top of the division, that leaves a bit of a gap between the guys that are starting out. And again, you know, Beaton's only 5 fights in here.
Nice work on the inside by Brett Beaton. Now he's found a bit of a gap for himself to work at mid-range. He was finding good shots inside. His head movement's been impressive tonight, Manny.
Oh, he's definitely working very well. You know, Kenny's got a great jab, and you know he hasn't been able to stick it on him as much because of Beaton. Right hand and missed the mark there. For
nice work by Brett Beaton. Kenny Chery is on the offensive, but I think that was some defensive points scored by Brett Beaton. Nice work. 1-2 served him well. Looking to go downstairs. But you can see as we're already only 30 seconds to go in the third round here, and you can see that both fighters are affected by the pace, and we still have more than half of this contest to go. This was part of the learning curve for Brett Beaton, part of the challenge here tonight. And Kenny Chery may have found somewhat of a second wind here. Big shot by Brett Beaton. Almost lulled Kenny Chery to sleep. 10 seconds left. I don't think Chery's ready for bed just yet. Good round again.
Kenny seems to be wide awake.
The volume turned up in here slightly.
Round closed out pretty quickly. It got a little quiet in that round, though.
These lulls in the action, and then Brett Beaton was finding work on the inside there, as you can see at home, folks. Uppercuts.
Big
I feel like he could pick a better spot for them uppercuts at times, but it has served him well in the contest, and it's just mixed up his attack.
I'm happy he's trying them. It's definitely the right kind of punch for the fighter Kenny is. It's the right choice from his corner anyway.
I think he's thrown them at range at times, and I think if he can wait till Kenny's falling in a little bit and find a little bit more success, have more effect with those shots. But it has kept Kenny guessing. He's in the corner with head coach Artie Cousins, probably one of the most best dressed men in the building tonight.
After me, of course.
Of course. You do look dapper.
Thank you.
As usual, Manny. As we begin round 4 in very much the same way that the 3 rounds that have came before it. Brett Beaton stuffed Kenny with the jab there, stiff jab. And Chery's fighting back and has done.
We're like I said, it's in tight and it's wrestling. I think this is definitely the way for Kenny to go if he wants to try and get this into the later rounds. Needs to tie him up, needs to make the kid tired, let him know he's in there with a veteran. You know, he's got to stop getting hit with these clean shots, though. Ooh, 2 good shots.
Nice combo by Kenny Chery for the first time in the fight, really. Lands a left hook and a right hand of his own. Beaten back on the jab. Good sign. Using them feints again. Don't think Brett wants to fall into a trap. Just exchanging 1-for-1 or shots for shots with Kenny. I think he needs to stay on that jab.
And we won't fall into a lull. I think we fell for that trap in the last round. I don't see it happening again.
Nice work by Brett Beaton.
Big uppercut again.
Nice left hook upstairs too. Excitement levels inside the Emirates Centre boosted with every shot that Brett Beaton lands. He's having a good round here. Different form of attack. He's landing the left hook on the inside. Kenny lands a little short left hook of his own. Uppercut by Brett Beaton lands. Big reaction from the crowd here, but Kenny Chery still fighting back. Nice work by Brett Beaton again.
Got a little blood coming from Kenny's nose. Those uppercuts definitely doing the work. Short little shot from Beaton. See, short little shots on the inside. Kenny better stay there. There's no reason to give yourself room. That hook landed for Kenny, and that's because he was inside. He needs to get up close to Beaton. He needs to lay down on top of him.
Good double jab by Beaton again. Upstairs. I think he gets excited every time he lands a jab or two, and I think for right now he just needs to get back on that jab and just keep Kenny like on the end of it for a round or at least half a round. But he's winning this round again, but at what cost?
I agree with you. I'd like it that he put something together before he goes for something with a little finesse on it. A full sentence, not just a punctuated. Good check left hook from Kenny, closing out the round there.
Big fight here, folks. We are halfway through our scheduled 8-rounder between Brett Beaton and Kenny Chery. Let's take a look at these replays, Manny, again. Brett Beaton with the short left hook. Landed one of his own, Chery, but for every one that Chery lands, you feel like Brett's answering with 2 or 3 of his own at the moment.
But I'm really liking the uppercut for Beaton. You know, when he does it well, he sneaks it in proper. Gary working double duty as a cut man right now. You can see a little frustration from Kenny as coach Ian McKillop tries to encourage his fighter.
Well, once again, Manny, you don't have your official scorecard here tonight, but loosely, how do you see this one? You think Brett Beaton's got the 4 of them?
So far, yes, unfortunately. It's still a closer matchup than just saying that, though. I need to say it. Good work on the body there.
Good action here in round 5 again. It's been a steady pace throughout the contest.
Yeah, it hasn't really let up except for that round that had a bit of a lull. The crowd cheering for Brett Beaton.
Hopefully he can stay composed.
This inside fighting, Kenny needs to make this work for him.
Nice work by Brett Beaton with that uppercut to good effect again.
Can't give Brett Beaton any room to breathe. If he does, he's going to take deep breaths.
We remember last fight Brett Beaton had in Halifax in the summertime, Manny, and he fought Mikhail Miller, obviously trained by Donovan Boucher. I think Donovan's one of the only men who's fought for the world title and refereed the world title fight.
Quite possibly.
And so he came with... Oh, big shot by Brett Beaton. Kenny Chery is stunned here. Brett Beaton looking to finish Kenny Chery off. He's holding on. He's fighting back. Wow, good shot downstairs by Brett Beaton. And over the top. He's switching up the attack. This is beautiful work by Brett Beaton. He's really feeling himself.
Referee,
he's in the building.
Get a little closer in here.
I think Kenny's fighting well. Like to see Brett Beaton get himself a deep breath or 2 right now. I don't know if Kenny's fully cooked at the moment. Great variety in the punching by Brett Beaton when he had him hurt, though. Still on the ropes. Referee Craig Smith, I believe it is, will be having a look closer.
Kenny's not just going to give it up.
Oh, he's in there. this is why it was such a good test for Brett Beaton, and I don't want to use the word was too soon, but even when you're making the fight and you're thinking about the fight coming up, it was always a good test. Can he pass it? Is it a guarantee? No. But tonight, Brett Beaton's fought tremendously well. He showed, he showed a lot, and he's still showing it right now.
So far, I'm giving him a B+.
And Kenny's in there.
Absolutely. But this is what I expected from Kenny. I knew no matter what, it was going to be a tough fight for Brett Beaton, work-wise.
Less than 10 seconds left here, folks, in round 5. As Brett Beaton has stamped his authority even further on this contest. We're sitting next to the world-famous photographer, Jeff Lockhart, here at ringside.
Big right hand for Brett Beaton right there in the replay. Followed it up with some hooks and uppercuts. Just good choices in this round.
You can see Ian McKillop above us, looking straight into the eyes of Kenny Chery. I think if my lip reading skills are correct, I believe that Ian's just gave Kenny Chery 1 round to change the course of this fight. And you could think at home, folks, well, he's in round 6 now, he's only got 8 rounds to fight, but it only takes 1 second to have a career-ending or career-changing or life-changing injury.
If Ian's not liking what he's seeing, he's experienced enough to understand when the right moment's to pull the pin. So he's definitely letting Kenny know, it's starting to get around that time.
I was very impressed with the stoppage from the corner of Demetrius Andrade last week. I thought that was a brilliant stoppage. Was Demetrius Andrade tough enough to stay in there for longer with David Benavidez? Of course he was. Of course, he's a highly skilled athlete, but there was a weight disparity there. It was 2 avoided men, and I thought whoever was in that corner certainly cared about Demetrius Andrade.
I'll say this: if you've done the walkout and the bell rang for you, you've done enough at a minimum to. There's
no cowards in the ring.
No, and ultimately his team did the right thing. They get to pack it up and then get back to the drawing board and maybe make another run at it. Whereas like you said, another 30 seconds can cost them a decade or worse.
Well, Kenny Chery's trying to creep his way back into this fight here. It's been a slower round for the first minute, but it has been fought at a steady pace so far.
Kenny just trying to be a little more elusive here. Definitely aware he can't take any more of those big shots. Beaton just seems comfortable just popping the jab right now. Maybe he's taking a little breather.
That's a good plan for him, I feel. A really good plan.
Well, listen, like I said, you've already got a B+. We know what we could do to get an A+. But, it's already a decent showing of your skills here. There's no need to...
Closing in on 1 minute left here, Manny.
Especially considering Kenny's background. You can't let off the gas too much. And Kenny is ripe for an upset, so.
Well, Kenny's took some big shots tonight. He may need to do a few of his classes from Zoom come Monday morning. Are the teachers back at work at the moment?
No, they're not.
Well, you'll have some time to rest after what's been a really tough encounter.
Kenny snuck in a short shot there, was able to anyway.
Nice little shot by Brett Beaton.
I'll point something out here. Part of the reason why Kenny is being so tough in this fight is he's, sparring with the lights of, we named them before, Patrice Boney and Shaquille Finn. Just grueling rounds with high caliber opponents. I don't know what kind of sparring Brett Beaton's done.
Well, actually, it's funny that you just said that, because when we spoke midweek, about the fights, we touched on the likes of sparring that Kenny Chery had been doing, and Brett Beaton was quick to remind me that, he doesn't maybe have the, that level of sparring, but he does have some guys around him, like the likes of Custio Clayton and Kirk Johnson, who have great pedigree themselves, just in his ear. There is guys for him to work with. Obviously, he's given it up in the, you know, the quality of sparring partner. But he said, you know, don't forget about the work I'm doing out there and with the people I'm around and trying to follow in their footsteps. So,
well, based on his performance tonight, I mean,
doing just fine, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
Big couple rounds coming here. This is uncharted territory for Brett Beaton.
If Kenny's holding his own with those people, it's fair to say that Brett would as well. All right. Round 7 here.
Can we foresee something spectacular from Kenny Chery here?
The likelihood is not very good. However, Kenny can give him 2 more difficult rounds.
Nice work again on the inside by Brett Beaton.
And he's on the way to doing that right now.
Really short shot. So Kenny's been attempting the work, but for the most part, it's been blocked by Brett Beaton. Good shot. That one snuck in by Kenny Chery.
Kenny's eyes seems to have swollen up a little bit.
I think he's got a little bit of swelling around both eyes, doesn't he? And Brett has peppered the jab and he's landed some overhand rights and short left hooks. Again, that uppercut, I feel like he's threw that from the wrong position, but that's led into that overhand right.
Is Brett just bullying right now?
Past the halfway point here in round 7. As Brett Beaton touching and turning right now, sinking a couple in. He's definitely felt the pace.
Slow down a little bit, but
As he starts operating out of the cross guard there for a moment.
It's that tight inside work. Like I
Kenny
said,
land a little short shot of his own, it looked like to me.
that distance doesn't help. So this is actually better for Kenny, but you know he's still not getting off of it. You know, got to give it to Brett Beaton, and his defense is pretty solid. Kenny getting caught with standing tall there.
We just spoke about levels, and we spoke about middleweights and super middleweights, and I think Antonio Napolitano was operating out of a super middleweight division almost more often than not with the same day weigh-ins in Ontario, but it makes his win over Kenny Chery look really impressive that he blew him out in 1 round, you know. Because Brett's putting in a tremendous performance right now, and Kenny took some big shots early on. It looked like we could replicate that situation. Yeah, here we are in 10 seconds to go in round 7, and he's still taking big shots as Beaton is on the offensive once more.
Kenny backpedaling a little bit, 10-second mark there. We're going to be going to round 8.
Well. First time for Brett Beaton going round 7 rounds. It'll be the first time he's going to do the 8th. It's been a big test for him tonight. Really big challenge that he's passed with flying colours up to this point. We still have 3 minutes of potential drama to come.
And Brett's got a little cut under his eye as well, so they've traded bumpers a little bit here.
Another special thank you to our sponsors, Advanced Insulation Services, Samson Contracting, That's Right Roofing and Renovations, ARL Mechanical, and Boston Pizza Sydney. And don't forget Dirty Devil Vodka. Round 8 underway here, folks. (9:30 in the evening here in North Sydney, Cape Breton, Nova Scotia, as Brett Beaton looks to close the show. I just wonder whether Artie Cousins told him in the corner, you know you have 3 minutes in the tank. Go close this show. It's a risky but admirable tactic at this point, I feel. You know, quite easily coasted to a decision here, maybe. And he's looking to close the show.
Look, right now I'm leaning towards giving him an A. You know, Kenny has done his job, though. You know, we talked about this fight. He did have 7 losses, but it's 7 losses that look a lot like this.
Exactly.
You know, so
it's an untold story in professional boxing about how the men like Kenny Chery keep the sport moving, in a sense.
Well, it also gives us an indication of what we're working with here. I mean, without him, we don't know what we're dealing with Brett Beaton. You know, so we have a bit of a better idea now.
It's hard for me to say it like that sometimes, because I'm sure Kenny Chery at one point had aspirations of being more than a measuring stick for up-and-coming fighters, but, you know, he's fought valiantly here tonight.
Still did, and I'll say this.
Big shots by Brett Beaton, Manny.
I would encourage him to commentate or do some journalism as well, because he's well-spoken and well-versed in knowledge. So I could very well see him sitting right next to us.
Well, maybe we will right now. He's got 1 minute left.
A couple short shots from Kenny there. He's looking to close out the round strong at least. You get your money's worth with Kenny Chery, that's for sure. Brett Beaton looking to put the finishing touches here. It's been a grinder. Referee finally makes his appearance. We haven't seen them all fight.
I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, is it?
No, fantastic. Did a great job. There was no need for him. The clinches weren't overdone.
Big shot! Whoa! Down goes Chery. Down goes Chery. Up goes every fan inside the Emirates Centre here in North Sydney. Craig Smith is counting. It's over. It's over. That is a fantastic victory for Brett Beaton, who almost falls out the ring. Wow, Manny Montreal. Let's take a look at this on our screen now, folks. He was looking slick. That's a big left hand. And a little two-step to boot. He's came over to the corner in an act of sportsmanship here. I don't think Kenny's too interested or too with it at the moment, but that is a big stoppage by Brett Beaton, a big statement by Brett Beaton. Wow, maybe we'll get to see that again here.
Beautiful shot. You know, it was starting to lull. The pace was starting to get a little quiet there. 30 seconds, we were winding down. We thought we were going to a decision. Brett Beaton put the exclamation mark on that, got himself the A+.
Let's see it again here, Manny. I think this may be the stoppage. Kenny's still fighting, it must be said.
A little shimmy on him, and
big left hook. What a highlight reel shot from Brett, the bad boy Beaton here.
A+ left hook.
As he moves to 5-1.
Thank you, Kenny Chery.
Yeah, fantastic performance by Kenny, a valiant showing.
Grueling fight.
Probably disappointing for Kenny to go as far as he did, and just as we were announcing there was a minute left in the contest and he's getting tucked in. I think he even tried to fight the knockdown too. He was out, but it took him a second to go down. Gonna see that knockout again here. Kenny on the attack still, as we said, with a minute to go in the 8th and final round. But just that lovely upper body movement from Brett Beaton.
Caught him with his hands down.
That weight transfer allowed him to land a beautiful left hook. I'm going to hand you over to Barry Eagert with the official announcement.
North Sydney, the time, 2 minutes, 49 seconds into round number 8 for the winner by way of of knockout from Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, the bad boy, Brett Beaton.